So the story goes something like this. I played with a guitar player who had a early 70s gold Strat and he played through a Marshall, which is a very loud amplifier, and we were in a tiny room with a massive drum kit. So the volume was loud enough to peel the enamel off of my molar teeths. This golden stratocaster had a severe ground issue, that caused the guitar to make a ridiculous amount of background hum when you were not playing it. Whatever it was, the problem was the most severe issue I ever encountered on any guitar. His rig was a disaster. It was mind-numbingly, pants-pissingly loud, screaming at you like a hypersonic jet engine. You have to understand, this was unlike any other typical noise issue on any guitar. I am experienced, I have been around. So I will just say that this guy himself was like he also was cursed with general bad luck, and it always came back to his own hard-headedness that was the issue. He could have gotten it fixed, he should have, but when he played it, as long as he did not stop playing, about half of that jet engine noise would go away. And it would be replaced with sweet Fender Stratocaster through 4000 decibels of gain. His guitar tone, in an ideal situation, was like if you had 4 distortion pedals and you would turn up the gain and dirt knobs on all 4, crank every knob up to 10 and let her rip. Because his whole thing was he was extreme, and he would do things like take a full hour to set up a massive drum kit with a gong at a tiny bar open mic, when it was super busy with many younger bands waiting to get on stage. After this full, it must have been 90 minutes, he stepped up to the mic and began playing. At the same time he let out a howl or scream that was very much like someone had cut his reproductive organs off with a dull knife. This howl was so high-pitched and so loud, so long, everyone in the crowd burst out loud laughing, as a coping mechanism. That was the first time I saw them play. It didn't last long for me, playing with those guys, but I will say the drummer was a great guy, and there were times when we played instrumental stuff, where we would all improvise. And the music would be very good. If I was steering the ship, I would play tasteful, normal bass progressions, and this guy would solo over that. He would be able to play blues lead guitar very well. But then he would go into this metal thing where he would screech sing, and play his guitar too quickly, and it would go south very quickly, total cringe. I did not stick around very long, but we did have some monumental long instrumental jams. The only thing was, this guy was convinced that he was shooting to be a huge rock star and that he had to try to blow minds and be extra. Which did not work. His gear was the absolute worst gear of anyone I ever played with. This golden Stratocaster was a curse. It was so loud, making background noise because of some grounding issue. I swear that guitar was so loud there must have been a battery in it with a circuit to make that much noise. It was truly unnatural, and, to top it off, it had a jiggle jack. So in between the jet engine sound there would be sounds similar to a lightning strike. In between songs he would slam his case of beer while the guitar was blowing out 180 decibels of white noise static. He would be screaming over it, to be heard. But no one heard him. Only the blinding white noise and thunder slaps from his fouled ground and broken cable and jack. Everything was broken. I have video of this guy on this channel falling into the drummer kit because he was tipsy. He immediately shouts the drummer down, claiming he did not fall or crash the drums, it was merely a case of his trip on his cord, he tripped on his cable. Mind you, I have a close-up footage instant replay on the video to illustrate it was an alcohol demon that shoved him, enabling his to crash poor Marty's drums. He never got his golden Strat repaired. I was bothering him about it, telling him I am pretty good with this stuff. He did not trust me. One of the things he liked to do was constantly have expensive instruments in hock. He paid a luthier $5,000 to build him this giant double neck that he never got it in tune. And it would be feeding back and he would have both guitar volumes cranked, so there was all this sympathetic stuff. But he wouldn't let me look at it, that gold Strat. But he gave me a dead sequential circuit synth I revived 100%, which he immediately pawned. Thank goodness I kept it for an extra week and recorded some songs with it. It was amazing synth. He also gave me a huge television set full of cobwebs and insect spores, pods, cocoons, and exoskeletons. I mean, this TV was creepy crawly critter central. I cleaned it, which took 45 minutes and a full roll of towels. Then we took a look and it had a fuse switch. So he would somehow do whatever it was he did, to ruin all his electronics, it would throw this fuse switch. A big red 1/4 inch plug that would shoot out 1 inch next to the power plug. That's all that was wrong. I am convinced he knew about the fuse and was just forcing me to clean his mess for him. I saw him on social media years later. He had a cover band with 2 very large women in ill-fitting cocktail dress, like 25 years older than when you should wear this dress. And, they could not sing. They were singing one flat one sharp, I swear, up all night to get lucky he had a line 6 full stack. And he was playing a giant Iceman or some Explorer combined with a reverse Iceman guitar in purple flame. The gig was a bowling alley. He was marching around like goose stepping with this ratty scooped ultra high gain tone to this Daft Punk. The Gold Jet Strat sounded better. Mind you, my have bass will travel attitude meant I played with all sorts of people in the late 80s and through the mid 90s. In 96 I swore to myself, never again, I do not play cover bands anymore. I still play for fun. I played with a guitar player who had a early 70s gold Strat and he played through a Marshall. This guitar's ground foul issue, whatever it was like a jet engine, it was so loud. And it had a jiggle jack. In equals between songs he would be screaming over it,